Hey, we're live. No going back now. Welcome. My name is Garrick. Today we're sampling 18SY by Torio Hojo. Joining us today we have Lily,
Hi.
Alan,
Hello.
and Pat.
Hello.
I'm not convinced Lily is actually joining us. We are playing the Generalization rule set for this game with none of the variants. That's a whole lot of words that basically just mean we're playing the version of this game that's an 1830 clone in its most basic
Got
version.
it.
There's an alternate rule set that's weirder, and maybe we'll try that in the future. There's a couple of variants that we're not playing with, so yeah. We're just keeping things simple. So let's talk about the MacGuffins. So let's see. The map obviously has a ton of dits, double dits specifically. We've got a whole bunch of special...
You don't say.
We've got a whole bunch of special track to accommodate it, including the best tile in any 18xx game ever, the SY1.
What the fuck?
I love how sad it is. It makes me so happy. It's
it
so sad.
Fuck those dits in particular? Is that what's happening?
That's exactly
I
what's
just saying
happening.
I don't want to deal with those dits. We're going around. This is hilariously stupid.
That is amazing.
Yeah. No, there are some good tiles.
You can't even run, but can you rerun through dits?
You can on this one.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea is that this is just a 20.
Yeah.
Because they could have just made a single...
Well, it's two stops.
Not
For
that matters for most of the trains.
sixth
but that's okay.
train.
It matters for the
sixth train.
It matters for like 3 of the trains.
Got it.
Anyway,
We'll be bankrupt by then anyway. It's fine.
well, what y'all have alluded to is another thing. Most of the trains in this game are, something -X trains, which means they can hit any number of dits in their route, in addition to the left number of revenue centers, cities or offboards. That jazz. Also, 2 of them, two 2X trains start in the bank pool for reasons I still can't quite figure out. I got nothing here, guys.
I'm guessing it's like if you want more 2 trains, you can buy them, but if you don't, we can just keep going to greens.
Sure.
Yeah, this feels like going to Mongolia. It's a trap.
Our diesel alternative is the 9W. It does have a trade-in, but you are not allowed to use the 6Xs for the trade-in. That's the only caveat there.
Question, actually. I thought if there was an emergency buy, you had to buy the cheapest train available.
Yes.
So wouldn't that mean that after we're on 3s, a new company that opens would have to buy those 2Xs before they could buy a 3?
Only if they don't have enough money in their company coffer.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was trying to think if there was any situation where that happened. Yeah, maybe that happened. Who knows? Anyway, the 9W just doubles the value of everything it hits.
I mean, your game's a little off the rails if you're emergency buying a 4, but I like it.
Yeah. I forgot what emergency buy actually meant because the last time I tried to do it, I fucked it up. What do you mean the company gets to use its own money for that? Sorry.
It's fine. Other than that, there's really only like 2 major MacGuffins without any of the variants. First are the soil markers, which are these tokens up here. These correspond to all of these blue spaces on the map that have the matching symbol. And the way it works is companies can gain these soil tokens, and when they do, they can spend them to nullify the terrain cost of any track they lay in a blue space. Does that roughly make sense?
Makes sense. I'm still not sure why we would want some of these blue spaces, but makes sense.
Yeah, who knows? So the way you gain the tokens is one of 2 ways. Well, 3 ways. The first, private, grants a soil token. But more generally, there are 2 ways to get them. When you when you use a small city or a city with a mining mark which is these ones up here, I think. So if you use one of those, you will receive that many soil markers from the bank up here.
Okay.
Additionally, every company has a purchase soil marker step just before they lay tiles. At that time, you may purchase one soil marker from another company for an agreed upon price to a minimum of 1 yen. And if the company you are attempting to buy from has 2 or more soil markers, they cannot refuse an offer, even if it's only 1 yen.
Got it. Never have to.
Oh, okay. So it's either a way to shuffle money or steal them from other players for really cheap.
I guess.
We'll see.
Who knows?
And all they do is you can lay them on these blue tiles to make them cost less.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it.
That's it.
Does that include these upgrades?
Yes.
It saves you $39, Alan,
Yep.
when you steal it from someone else. That's all you gotta think. $39.
Okay. Okay. Do these spots have special upgrades other than that, or is that it? I think that's it,
I
right?
think that's it.
Neat. Ooh, I've never seen this tile before. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. So that's the one big MacGuffin. And the other is that tokens do not have fixed costs in this game. If you look at any charter, you'll see they list 150 times hex. And the way that works is whichever location you are attempting to place a station token in, you will trace a route back to the nearest station of the same company, across existing track. And the number of hexes that you visit for that, including the location, you will pay 150 yen times that many hexes. So
That's a punishment mechanic. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So the example that the rulebook gives is that if the IT here were to have track into Funaki-cho, whatever that is, Funaki-cho, and there were 2 slots there, so you could token it. If you were to lay a token, it would be 300 yen. 150 for here, 150 for here. Does that make sense?
All right. Only take a company with a good home station token. Got it.
I still have no idea what's happening, but okay.
Okay.
I mean, I think $150 is ludicrous for a token.
That is a lot of friggin' money. I know.
Like 300 or more is just like not a thing that's gonna happen.
This feels like another one of those games where the designer's meta was to par everything high and have a ton of money in companies.
Wait, sorry, I was muted. So what is the I don't think I understand fully.
So
Oh,
basically,
good. I'm not the only one.
Just don't token things. That's all you need to know.
Basically, don't token things. I'll repeat the example. Say that Funaki-cho here had a green tile in the spot, so it had 2 open slots.
Oh, so it's per. Okay, got it.
You would pay 300 because it's 150 for the destination and 150 for the connection for the IT to reach it, because the IT is traveling 2 hexes.
So you're okay, yeah. So you're paying. So if like SR wanted to go over here, it's like 4 hexes. So it'd be like,
assuming you have a straight line to it, yeah.
Okay, I see.
Wow, that's ridiculous. But okay. Cool.
Oh yeah, it's dumb.
I mean, what this feels like is just that the designer hated the notion of tokening somebody out of a city. I mean, really, this feels like the designer just didn't like that mechanic of 18xx and decided to make it as punishing as possible.
You actually might have something to that, because one of the variant rules is to have like bonus tokens that you can place into cities to gain the ability to pass through them without treating it as like a home station for running from routes.
Interesting.
But see, this just makes 2 trains even worse. Like, this map already is not kind to 2 trains. Or is it? I don't know. The 2 X's, if you get them for long enough and can hit enough dits, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't push trains, sure.
But we're gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a time, guys.
I love times.
Let's go over the privates real quick, and then we'll get into it. The cheapest one is the Ube soda industry. You can close the private to get 1 soil token. I don't mind that it says landfill. That's just because the mod's using a different translation from the rules, and I changed the tokens, but not the private.
Why would that ever be better than just the $5 revenue?
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't fully understand the soil tokens, but we'll get there.
It's one of the 2 things I explained.
Yeah, and I don't understand it.
So
The
a
only
soul token takes
places
away
where
the
it
cost.
matters is the only places it matters is the city upgrade spots. All the other ones, I don't know that anyone ever goes there. Anyways, I'll let you continue. Sorry.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Just keep going.
All right. The Onoda cement allows the owning company to close the private to place 1 cement marker. The private has 2. They're a little bit different. The way it works is you can place them in any of these cities that are west of Onoda, including Onoda. So your options are these ones, if I'm recalling correctly. And if you place the plus 20 token, the company that owned the private will get plus 20 to runs in that location. If you place the plus 20 plus 10, the owning company gets plus 20, all other companies get plus 10, but when they get that plus 10, the owning company will also get $10 from the bank into its treasury.
Ooh.
And then these go away when the first 9W is purchased.
So never for us. Got it.
Next up is the Ube Light Railway, and holy, this is a lot of text.
I can't read it. It's too much text.
I mean, you literally can't. The last word is not visible.
Hold on. Let me pull up the rulebook again. I don't remember it being complicated. Instead of your normal stock round action, the owner of this private may close it in exchange for 1 share of any public company in the bank. At this time, if the chosen company is already operating, the president may place a station token, normally, if 1 remains, immediately in Ube. In exchange for closing, the owning company may place a station token in Ube for free. It does not matter whether Ube and this company's railroad are connected. And 1 space in Ube is reserved until the Ube Light Railway is closed.
So basically, whoever gets this gets to be the only one to place their second station token.
Correct. In a predetermined location. But also...
Weirdly enough, you give away the token to a different company or something.
Or you can have 50% and buy your last 10% or something. Right?
Yeah, or something like that.
It's all kinds of weird.
I will say, I thoroughly appreciate, since closed was underneath the 70 symbol, my brain read it as cursed. And I was like, okay, we need to start cursing things.
I think the fact that it says the president may place the station token normally if 1 remains, if you exchange it for a share, I think that means that the company would need to pay and potentially have connectivity. Because it makes a specific point that if you sell it to a company and have the company get rid of the private to place it, it's a teleport and it's free. So the fact that it's specifying that for if you purchased in the private and have the company use it compared to if you as the player use it, that indicates to me that they're different. Does that make sense?
No, but okay.
Does anyone else understand?
I think so.
I think
basically
imagine that it has 2 different mutually exclusive powers. One is that you can exchange it for a share of a company, and that company, if connected to Ube, can pay to place a token at that time. Or you can sell it to a company as normal, and that company can get rid of the private to teleport to Ube for free.
So yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
But like at that point, if you can pull off the first one, it just seems better because you also get a free stock.
Right.
But yeah. Got it.
Well, but the company at that point has to. I don't know. It's weird because, like, I mean, I guess the difference is you don't get to sell it to the company for $140. But I guess, like, it
That's
depends on what the
true.
value of the stock is. Like, stock trade and stuff, I never know the full value of.
I
Forgot
think
because
this
you
is.
get a stock instead of value. I didn't think of that.
I think it's probably a lot better purchased in and used that way.
Yeah, because then the company money, instead of being wasted on placing a token, is going to your coffers.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Okinawa Mountain Coal Mine. In exchange for closing the private, the owning company receives the 2M train, which is this fancy
Which
train
feels
here.
good.
It doubles the value of revenue centers with a mine, which again are the 3 locations up here.
There's 2 more.
There's 2 more? Oh, hey, look at that.
I mean, this is so
But I mean,
weird.
they're basically irrelevant probably compared to these, but there is 2 more.
Magic.
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 Going to Candy Mountain Party. I don't know why that came to my mind. It's magic.
And it's rusted by the 6 X's. Anyway, last one is the Sanyo Railway President Share. It gets you the Sanyo Railway President Share.
I never would have imagined that.
Yep. The Sanyo Railway starts with several shares in the bank pool and immediately must purchase this $200 6 train. It is permanent, and it can never be transferred or sold or anything like that. That's it. 2 magic train. All right.
So,
Who has questions?
just to verify on Sanyo Railway President Chair, can it be sold into the Sanyo Railway? It doesn't say that it's closed.
Let me check the rulebook.
Oh my god, if it's also that, it's busted.
Well, speaking of things, I'm gonna hit a button.
Yes, do it. I want to see who wins. We should. I
wait,
want it to be on
actually-
stream though.
Yeah, Garrick, we need you to pan over here to the mini
Stream
game
never
that
gets to see this.
the mini game we always play every week that half the time we don't see.
This is our secret method of
Thank
determining
you.
turn order.
Woo! Go. Damn,
Come on,
Garrick.
let's go. Jesus Christ, Lily.
Yes! Ha!
Oh god.
Okay,
damn it.
me, Garrick, Pat, Alan. Garrick and Pat need to switch places.
Okay.
Trade places.
Garrick gets to be in his least favorite color. Perfect.
Perfect.
His face. But like, really?
Just 2 more days till Elden Ring, guys. Just 2 more days till Elden Ring. It's the only
I
thing
don't
keeping
know
me
what
going.
that is.
Oh, I feel loved.
CJ, it's on the workshop if you search for it. Just search Candyland and check like all of them. Hey, Chris Dupe, we just did. Anyway, does anyone have questions?
Yes, can you sell this company?
Oh, yeah, that
because
question.
it is broken as fuck.
The rulebook is not clear. I guarantee you it's meant to be a B&O, and it dies. I guarantee you it's meant to be.
I mean, I'm willing to play it that way because otherwise
The
that
ga-
company needs to go for like 400.
Right, the game would be super dumb
$500.
if you could buy it in.
Like
Well,
it feels
speaking
like
of
it
super
should
dumb
just close
things.
automatically. Like maybe this cert shouldn't even exist. Maybe there should just be $160 yen on this cert.
Wait, so
I
you
don't
can you can actually buy it in after?
No.
We're
No,
ruling
okay.
no, because the rulebook doesn't clarify, and it's meant to be like 1830. So I'm gonna go with
No, that makes sense.
yeah.
Well,
I'm
I
willing
had
to
no
say I
problem.
don't care what the ruling is.
just starting here.
I mean, it's also doesn't have that $30 revenue where you can just hold it forever and not.
Right.
I guess because it buys a train automatically, so it wouldn't have that anyway. But like, you don't even get that $30 initial buy. You only get a 6 train. Like, horrible.
Guys, chat wants us to stream Candyland.
God damn it.
I need a minute. Sorry, guys.
Oh, perfect. We can play Candyland.
Oh god.
So what we gotta do, Garrick, what we're gonna do is we should clearly just make a bracket of colors and then do like just like a, you know, Candyland explosion. It'll be great. Garrett hates his life, guys. It's gonna be great.
Oh, you could actually bet too with the 4 colors. What seat's gonna win? Garrick's face.
It's so good. It's so good how disappointed in us he is. He hates us so much right now, and I love it.
It's a board game stream. Yes, so it's a board game technically.
Candyland
Spring tournament. Yes.
All right. How much more can we do to break Eric?
To wash all the filth off that he's doing right now.
Two more Dits.
Pat, it's your turn.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I don't know what to do. I'd like, why? Why is that a thing? That feels so good over here.
It feels really dumb, so my brain's like, I gotta get it. Or I gotta at least be on it to bid for it.
Feels like it's the best one. I don't think it's dumb at all.
Well, every time we felt that way, it was a trap, so I'm curious to see if this becomes a trap.
Yeah, literally
is
there has
true.
not been a time where we were not excited for the B&O and it didn't end up being a trap. Every single time.
This is when Alan just pulls the ripcord so Lily gets 2 really good. Two 1-hour Candyland streams a week, please. That's great.
All right, we're putting on super slow. Instant. Wait,
All right, everyone.
Which okay, so doing slow. You have to get wait, he's 92 spaces is all the way over here. Oh my god. I'm ready.
Wait, is it doing it one? Oh my god.
This is what happens when you put it to slow. We normally play it at extreme speeds.
Oh man.
That poor piece was just like, where the fuck am I going? I'm going through the board. I think you mean tournament, Chris Dube. We should do a charity Candyland tournament.
I don't know if I can handle that.
All right, sorry about that.
It's okay, we're playing Candyland.
Again?
Chat requested it.
We're playing it at an extremely slow speed as well.
Yes, I see.
All right, guys, let's race Candyland. Let's see which one finishes.
Candyland, for sure. We're slow.
Oh, Billy, did you not expect to see Candyland when you tuned in?
Hey, Lily, go purchase something.
Do a thing? All right, I love doing a thing.
Billy, we have not been sleeping on this masterpiece. I want to go pan over to the action, but also I want to see Green hit the yellow, the lollipop finally. Yes.
It's your turn. It's your turn, Garrick.
You know what the worst part is too? Is that it just like is like a timer going tick, tick, tick on the side of my ear.
I like how Garrick moves forward 92 spaces, and then we're like 4, 7. You know, not 92 for sure. Oh, I got 3. Yes, I'm the worst out of all of you.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah. No, it's Garrick's. Oh wait, yeah, Garrick's green.
Yeah, Garrick has to go still. Yeah.
Garrick was too excited about Candyland.
Clearly.
Can't you see the enthusiasm?
Garrick, you look more bored than I've ever seen you.
Ugh. I also apologize if I cough. I'm trying to remember to mute.
It's okay.
That's not policing, Garrick.
What's policing?
You know, part of me wonders if pulling here is. I mean, giving you 2 is probably not the smartest. That's 25.
Just
definitely
just
would
win
put Garrick
the
in a good spot.
just win the Okinoyama and you have 25 yourself.
I know. I just don't. I mean, I guess they could fight over that, right?
Yeah, make it so only one of them gets a private.
But then
You're
And then give Garrick all of the money.
You're
good.
letting Garrick have the same thing as you for no fight while you have to fight.
yeah. Oh,
Hi. I don't know if I care about Ube, but
Then pull the ripcord. Or bid on something you want.
I took the lead.
I call hacks. I was so far ahead. What did you do?
I got the gumdrop bridge. The gumdrop bridge? No, the rainbow trail. Sorry. And then you
I appreciate
unfortunately pulled the
Behind
peanut.
I am.
I pulled the peanut? Come on.
Yeah.
I appreciate how far behind I am. I'm pretty sure I've drawn 3, 1, and 3 for cards.
oh shit, I took a shortcut through Gumdrop Pass.
I'm jealous. Why can't I take shortcuts?
Ah, jeez. I know what the right thing to do is, but I don't wanna. I'll go here.
Oh no.
I ruined it, guys. I broke the game.
Did you?
Uh,
Oh, I see.
well, because you ruined it, you're also going backwards. So there.
I feel that, CJ. I feel that.
Is this a 60? Hold on. 67, 65 par. God damn it.
Good old Torio
It's-
Hojo.
Is it 60 or is it 60%?
Yeah.
So 390.
Well, I'm gonna do this.
Why not pull the ripcord?
Because you just moved back 56 spaces. I thought I had to celebrate it by making you even more annoyed. I'm impressed that you're moving back 56 spaces.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna pull the ripcord.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
Woo!
No,
Oh,
that's not me. I'm green now.
I was like, why is that in my?
We said it was.
Fight!
It's 390.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sure. 55.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
You move forward 2 spaces. That's what you do.
So are we gonna let
Yeah.
this run like the whole game? Because
Got a problem with that?
well, I'm a little bit like Pat. That ticking is gonna get a bit annoying.
We can mute it.
I don't think that's a thing.
No, it's not. Oh my god.
I think clearly, Pat, you should bid it up to 200. I mean, that cement token looks pretty hot.
Well, just I have to make a decision here. If I fight for this one,
Mm-hmm.
I can't fight for this one. Unless I'm not opening a company for a while.
Well, you're already competing with 2 players for that one.
Yeah, I know.
Then again,
If I
Garrett,
let Garrick have this one, Lily let's Lily have this one, then how, like, Lily's not going to fight for this one. Do you know what I mean? It just might, like, end up as, like, a chain where it's, like, you get this, Lily gets this, and this.
I don't know. I
don't
think
know.
there is a world where whoever gets Sanyo just
Yeah.
gets as many privates as they can.
That's also true.
Like Lily might just literally go ham on privateer.
I
Hey,
also
chat.
don't think.
Chat, give me a
opening
number
weight-
between 1 and 28.
I'll do 60. Let's see what Garrett does.
Lily, do you count as chat?
I can't be both? I think I can be both. Otherwise, this is discrimination.
9 is Dublin. 14 is Los Angeles.
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
23 is San Francisco. 3 is Austin. I said LA was one of them, right?
Mhm.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, we'll go with LA.
Hey, Garrick, you're up for bidding.
Oh, for bidding? Oh, he raised it?
He raised it.
Do I do I want it? Oh, that music's too loud. You can have it for 60.
Okay.
Ooh, congratulations, CJ. Yeah, that first SR is tricky.
Absolutely.
And the auction, of course.
Oh,
Ooh,
Is it me? No.
36.
Oh no, it's me. I'm sorry. 85. Now it's you.
I'll go to 90.
95.
All right, you can have it.
Okay. This is what I actually wanted, so I'm pretty happy about this.
That's fine.
I'm gonna bring it to
And-
135.
Oh! I did not notice it's a 65 par. Okay. Larg. Sorry, give me a second. I'll go to 140.
Pat, you won the game.
No, I mean, she said 140, so it's not zeroed out. 145.
No, but you won Candyland.
Oh, hey! Okay, we end the stream. It's over. I won.
It's
41
over.
minutes.
Yeah, good luck with that,
Interesting.
CJ. 41 is huge. Huge.
Oopsie,
That's
that
my
was
hope.
yours. I realized that. Yeah.
All right, 155.
Plus all the tokening, CJ. All the stickering, I mean, for the tokens.
Yeah, 160.
$165.
You can have it.
Okay.
So we really did get down to whether Lily or Alan gets a private or not. That's fun. Somebody's going to come out of this with no private.
That is accurate.
I has plan. It's probably horrible, but I has plan. And I'm probably not going to be playing for the first hour. I'm just investing.
Perfect.
I mean, I don't know. Hmm. Hmm.
Guys, they're buying a B&O and they're bidding it up. This is crazy.
Classic overvaluing the B&O. Good job, guys. Is it strictly increments of 5?
It's 1830, so it's 5 plus.
Okay, cool. It's because I want to ruin everything.
You're a
You
fucking
can have it.
monster.
All yours.
Yay!
Have a good night, CJ.
This is almost certainly a mistake.
265 was the highest you could bid and still have it float turn OR1.
Isn't it already
It
floated?
already has
Oh,
4
oh!
in the bank pool.
I missed that part. Never mind. I'm a dumbass. Oh god, I'm so I'm
wanna
too
raise your
tired for
bid?
this shit. Yeah, I do. I'm like
you
half
do-
asleep still.
Oh, you are gonna raise it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I deleted the other thing, but we'll just play with that.
Okay, so you said 271?
Yeah.
All right, monster.
Oh dear.
Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. 280.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna start writing on the table. I don't
We're
care.
breaking Garrick slowly but surely.
I'll do it.
Huh.
No, it doesn't. Right on the table, Garrick. Candyland.
You know what doesn't write on the table? Elden Ring.
Oh.
You
know
wanted
what
to
that
play
is.
this game, Garrick.
Not like this, I didn't.
I'm sorry, I know I'm a disappointment.
All right, let me look up this Elden Ring stuff.
Yeah, I feel like just not having a private is a problem.
Bid it up. Bid it up.
I feel
The
like
more this goes, the more I feel like I won.
I feel like Pat broke this.
Oh, just wait.
I mean,
Oh, just wait.
I feel pretty good with my 25 revenue or 20 revenue.
No,
I mean-
yeah, you're in a really good position, and I'm not quite sure how the table addresses that. Pat can't par a company, so I would get first because Garrick pulled the ripcord. This should be over here. But I have no idea what companies are good.
They're probably
I mean,
all
I can-
bad.
Well, I mean, I can take a
But which
guess
one's
and
the
say
least
that
bad?
some
That's
of
the
them are
question.
better than others for sure.
It's so funny how Omine Tanko and Kibe Magura dropped to 10 in the gray.
I really want to know: is there literally no off-board value to this? To any of these?
I looked
for
at
yellow?
the rules. I think this is just a byproduct of us playing like the secondary rule set, generalization. Because I think in the normal rule set, you start in green. So I think this is just like a gap in the rules.
Wait, so we start in green, we can lay a green track right away?
No. We start in yellow in the generalization rules. The off boards just don't have a yellow value.
Got it.
I don't understand.
Me neither. Nobody start any of those companies and we'll be fine.
Yeah, but like, where else do you go? What?
I know.
Regrets.
Is Elden Ring just Dark Souls?
I mean, no, because it's Elden Ring, but yes.
Okay, cool.
It's the new FromSoft game. It's basically open world Dark Souls.
All right, Lily.
I thought I had my hype for it under control, and then like a week or two ago, I just had developed unbearable hype.
I can become bigger.
Oh my god.
Fancy Zergling, Dark Souls is not technically open world. It's more like a Metroidvania style world.
Mhm.
It tends to be like linear branching paths.
All right, Lily, you can have it for $2.95.
Yay!
Feels like you're way overpaying, so I'm fine with this.
I am, and that's fine.
Like, you can't get any of the value out of the company, so like, I don't know if this helps you or not.
I'm totally fine with
If
this.
you had privates, it'd be different.
What is this word you speak of? Privates? Those are things that exist?
They are.
So there's a joke in there. Maybe a little dirty.
I was trying
Oh,
to
I
allude to it without explicitly. All right.
Sorry, what we call blunt.
All right, Pat, what you doing?
Stock
I
round.
pass.
Awesome. Now I have to try to figure out which of these companies is not horrible. They all look bad. Are the Dits good, or is that just dumb?
Yes.
Like, I feel like these off-board spots are just like the more traditionally good spots, but if I can't run there till green, that also feels pretty bad.
We probably need to make a ruling on those off boards, whether they're non-existing or whether they're just zero value.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine they would have to be zero value, not non-existent, because otherwise stations just, like, companies literally can't open till green, and it's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
I am sorry. I should go see how that Y tile upgrades. It looks like it upgrades decent.
Oh,
I
who
feel like
messed
that's
up
a
these
pretty.
greens?
That feels like a pretty good bet. I'm just gonna bet on OR being probably good.
I'll admit to playing with the Browns. I didn't touch the greens.
Mm-hmm. I like
I
the
didn't.
story.
$65.
I'm impressed what you did with the Browns.
Right? They all run to each other perfectly.
Well, except for
this one. Oh, well.
Really close to perfectly.
All right, Lily, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
I don't know. You
Oh,
buy
is it my
more of
turn?
you can buy more of your company if you want.
I might.
I guess that's one thing I could have done is I could have actually stolen Lily's company.
You could have.
That would have been very rude of me.
Yeah, it would have. But that's okay. I'm used to Garrick. He's made me cry enough that I'm used to it.
I mean, Garrett can still do it.
No, he can't.
No?
He can
Oh,
tag me.
You can get up to okay, yeah. I see.
It was just you. Garrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think you would just be out of the game, right, Lily?
Yeah, I would just go to sleep. I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah,
That's
that
exactly what would happen.
that wouldn't have been fun. So I made the right choice.
I appreciate you prioritize fun over good but mean moves.
I don't know how to read this stupid map.
It's all bad.
Basically.
I'll par the UER at the only par price that
Sure.
exists.
I'm
I
just
like
on
your,
pass, but
I like
keep
your
doing your
thwomp
stuff.
impression, Alan.
Yeah.
They get snare locked.
Is it too
Hold
soon
up.
to make snare lock
What
jokes?
is this?
Hmm.
What is this tile?
Hmm?
Mhm.
And how is it functionally different from this?
Because you can keep going through this one. You can't go through this one.
Yeah, this
You
one's
just
dead ends.
stop.
No, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you
it's
hit
still
that,
no,
it is a dead
it's
end.
still no frowny face. Like, this is still the best one.
Why would you want to dead end into a dit?
What if you really want to go straight? That's all.
Oh, because you already hit 2 locations, but you want to keep hitting dits afterwards.
All right, this game is a meme, guys. We are being trolled hard.
I feel like that might be
Absolutely.
true.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Let's go.
Oh boy. So Japan next week, right? That's.
So whose turn is it?
I
Or
bought my
are we-
president, sir.
I believe it's
I'm
Pat.
on pass. I said I'm on
I
pass.
believe it's Alan.
You're just on full pass. Okay. Can we just float up?
We can
Garrick
just float
and I?
up, yeah.
I guess Lily's gonna buy
I'm gonna
another
grab
one.
my one more, but yeah.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and buy 4 additional of Onata. It only gave me 1 for some reason. All right, sure.
Why is... Oh, these stupid privates overlap. That sucks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why did I wipe my counter? I'm an idiot. There we go. Some of them are definitely meme games, stuff by Rudy. I legit don't know if this is a meme game or not, or if people just shouldn't play the generalization rule set.
I'm debating if I buy a share of Lily's. I mean, literally, I could afford 2 of Garrick's, though.
Probably better to go with the density, but.
You
Start your
also
next
need
company.
You guys got to grab your things.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, they don't need those.
Hey, we got the 2 purple ones. I think you stole mine, though. Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
What's happening?
Your shares are green, man.
I'm very lost.
Me too. It's fine. I'm buying something. What am I buying?
Oh, you want to hear something that'll drive you crazy? If you notice, most of the counters are attached to the charter cockeyed.
Well, when I went to grab the second counter, I accidentally just like completely like flew my board across the map. So
All right, I'm buying one of Garrick's. Is anyone else doing anything?
Nope.
I'm on pass.
I'm buying a second one of Garrick's.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I might as well just totally screw myself over. It's fine.
This is when Garrick just like buys all the trains and then dumps the company on you.
Hells yeah.
I mean, probably.
Are we
You
doing?
make a good point. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they're not actually like
They're not
all...
cards because why would they be?
They're tiles.
I hate everything.
What the fuck?
You know
I
what?
know.
I am gonna buy lilies.
Okay.
Sorry to slow the game down.
It's okay. Every moment until Elden Ring releases is agony anyway, so.
I have never heard you talk about this game before.
I know what to say. This is just the new Persona 5 for him. It's fine. Not Persona 5. What am I saying?
Shin Megami
Tensei 5.
I'm not a weeb. I only play SMT.
And then that one time you played through the entirety of Persona.
I can only do it the once. The once is too many.
What?
Everyone,
All right.
Everyone ready to go on to the operating round?
Yeah,
Yep,
let's go.
I don't know if I can manage.
All right, privates are paid. Nothing was sold out, so we can just go on to SR. As in the company, not the
All
stock
right.
round.
Yep. Lily.
Give me a second.
No.
I said that's gonna get confusing. On to SR. Wait, we just did an SR. No, SR's go. We just did the SR. Oh no.
Yo.
But who's on first?
I just realized Alan's company is OR.
Yes, it is.
God damn it! Who did this? What the fuck?
This feels like a troll. Ugh.
You know what? I'm just gonna sit here and not buy anything and just make revenue for the game. I think that's the right call.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's how I win.
Alright. See you in 4 hours.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Let me spawn Candyland real quick, and I'll start my own stream.
Sounds good.
Buying any trains, Lily?
Nope.
What? I can't believe you didn't want to buy any trains.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be slow as hell, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm surprised you're
absolutely.
not laying up in the top right just so you can run right off the bat.
Oh, I guess I would run for. Yeah, that makes sense.
I
Your
mean,
logic-
remember, you can't run to the offboards until you hit the greens.
I thought that they existed.
No,
but
I
they
thought
were
we
just
said they
zeros.
agreed, but there were zeros.
Yeah, Alan, you said they were just gonna be 0.
I mean, yeah, but I
Uh,
guess it makes sense.
She'd be
sure.
running for 20.
I'd be running for
Right.
20, and I'd not be losing any value.
Why does
Does
that
it cost
float?
money to lay dits? I'm confused.
I
Her
can run
stock
right
value
now. I have a
doesn't-
train.
She has a train. Her stock value doesn't
Oh
drop.
shit! Hey, I bought a share. Fuck yeah!
Oh god, Garrick, are these tiles with invisible bottoms? Is that what this is?
Oh no.
Oh
Garrett.
God, why?
Wait, what?
Why?
I'm confused. What do you mean invisible?
Look at the
Just
tile.
go flat. Go flat. Can you also make it like less thick?
Well, some tiles
Garrett,
are just born
That's
the
a
way
lot.
they're born.
He would have to do all of them. It's fine. We'll survive this game.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to
I
survive
think.
it.
Oh man. Okay.
You
Well,
can't help
look
but
at
talk
I just
over it
realized
loud. It just is what it is.
I just realized there is no revenue tracker, so
Yes.
that's great.
There's no revenue tracker.
I'm gonna pay out and I'll move forward.
Is SR done?
Actually,
Wait,
I want to do
Can
this.
you buy the train immediately?
The
To
rules,
run?
she buys it like at the start of her first OR or whatever.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. Done
That's
with the
actually
SR?
crazy good. See, had I known that, I totally would have bought some of these to make money. But that's my bad.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, on to the OR.
That's you, Alan.
Yeah. Hang on. Well, I guess I'm gonna steal this since I can. Feels good. Oh, I should put my home token out. I should probably get my company money. I mean, it doesn't need money. It's not like I can buy in any privates or anything.
So, like, when I look at this, they can't double use this, right? It doesn't go around and through. Like, you can choose to just go through it and ignore the second dit, right?
What? No.
Like, in this case,
No, it's a loop to loop.
are you sure? Like, you shouldn't be able to use that spot twice, right? You would just be able to go, like, through it to here, like, this way?
I think
Like-
I think you can imagine it as like an overpass. Like there are different heights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe
weird.
maybe
Okay.
I'm wrong. Like
I don't think so. I think otherwise it's just the same as the other one.
right. In that case, it's just it would just be the same as SY4, but looking different.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Have a good night, stuff by Rudy. Alan, where you going, man?
So I can hit both of them. That's what we're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Boop.
Where you going? You don't want to come visit Onodaka?
I
Notico?
mean, I do, but also this tile's pretty sweet, right? Also, you are the clear leader at the moment, so I don't feel bad about this at all.
You're no fun.
Yeah, I know. I will buy trains. Probably one. At least. I mean, I could buy two, but that does not help me. Because I can't token anything, because this game is weird. Maybe I go
See,
and
that's
token the other Y.
problem. See, that's the problem, is that, like, it's gonna go so slow because no one's gonna push trains.
Like, I'm not incentivized at all to buy more than one.
I mean, that's typically the case anyway.
Well, anyways, I spent $100 on a train and I'm done. Sorry for the slow turn.
All right. The Ur is sad, but we're gonna forge on. We will.
Just go to the other Y, it'll be fine.
I mean, I will. I wanted to run out of both ends. All the hexagons perma-stuck. Hexagons are the bestigons. I don't want to help you. I don't know if that's actually helping you, but I don't know if I want to do that.
I mean, eventually you do want to tie into those, right?
Well, not with this track lay, I don't.
You sure? Because then you get the value on it, and you hit the Y.
Alan, I don't know why you would tell me to come out this end and loop it back into a closed token spot when I could just lay 2 tiles and hit an open token spot.
Because eventually it's going to look like this.
So is this one. Your arguments are
boy.
unconvincing, sir.
Oh, goodness. I'm not. I have no regrets.
I think you have some regrets.
That's the one I want.
fine. You're just making your own runs permanently worse. It's cool.
I mean, you made yours permanently worse. I don't know what to tell you, man. All right, we're gonna lay that. We're gonna fall back. We're going to purchase a 2x train. And I guess that's it. Back to a stock round.
Okay.
Okay, Lily, you are up.
I pass.
Is
I
it
guess I
just
pass.
me?
Yeah.
I'll also pass.
Lily?
Oh, Pat's doing things. Oh God.
Yeah,
I
I can
am.
do things. I'm just gonna pass.
I'm just on pass.
Yeah, I don't know why I would change anything. I guess in theory, Garrick's run is probably better than Lily's, but I don't know. I don't want to sell my share.
Pat, are you buying from the bank pool or the IPO?
I bought
both.
2 from the IPO and then 1 from the bank pool.
Because the price is 110 now for the bank pools.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. I bought the 2 cheap ones and then I bought 1 for 110.
Okay.
Stock round done.
Yeah.
So
Operating round. Privates pay. SR is up first.
Okay. Um. Uh,
I should have bought a bank pool 2x train. That's what I should have done.
Can you make this levitate tire again? Because now it looks weird next to this one.
Should I make it have an invisible bottom?
No, that's fine, but you can if you want. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Actually, I don't want to do that.
It would have required effort to make them all invisible like that. Why would you do that?
Hmm.
I'm surprised you're doing that.
Me
You're
too.
not trying to make the run better. Yeah.
And pay out for
I-
20.
I think she's setting up her 6 run.
And I'm gonna buy a 2 train.
Oh yeah, this is why you should have bought the 2 train, because then it would have been worth a lot more the other way.
SR done?
SR done.
Did you pay out?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to move it.
OR is
Thank you.
done. Or is up. Yeah.
Okay. OR will lay a thing. Double Dits. Where am I trying to go? I probably want to do that. So some version. Think. No. That's not it. That's acceptable. Yeah, I think I have to go with acceptable for the moment. Alright, so I'm gonna lay that like that. I'm gonna run for 60. No revenue tracker. Awesome. I will pay out. Lily did buy another 2x. If I buy a 2x here, Garrick buys his privates in. Oh, I know how to solve this problem. I'll buy this bank pool 2x.
OR done?
OR done.
Alrighty.
Oh, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I can't afford that. I'm not buying that. I put it back.
Okay.
Doesn't affect anybody.
I'm gonna drop that. I'm going to token for 450.
Wow. You're not buying your privates in. All right.
I will run for 70. Pay out. Move over. I will purchase a bank pool 2x for $100.
Man, I don't know if I like these bank pool 2x's. That is so silly.
They're very silly. All right, back to a stock round.
Okay. I will buy a Garrick stock. I bought an Ube.
I'm on pass.
Can't buy any more of mine. I can't afford Lily's. So I guess I will buy an OR for 65.
It's running decent.
I'm selling all three of these for 120 each.
I wondered if you would.
It's enough to open a company.
Nice.
And we're going to par Ube. Okay, go. If anyone else is doing
Okay.
nothing, I'll just float up.
Alan, you doing anything?
No, I don't think so.
Lily, you doing anything?
Still no.
All right, I'm gonna dump an OR and grab one of Pat's.
Rude.
Oh. 3, 4.
You tweaking turn order, sir?
Maybe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more floats it. So I spend 1, 2, 3. Hey, look
Well,
at that.
Before you do that, since Garrick is being naughty,
Oh, okay. What the fuck?
buy the 2X trains.
Me? Is that what people want?
Are you still buying up all those shares, Pat?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Any-
where we land now. And
Anything
now
else you wanted to buy?
I'm debating. Well, I don't have to buy one of my own now. I still had to sell Lily's, thankfully, so I don't feel bad about selling it.
Well, you don't have to buy 2 of your own. That's why I asked if you were still buying all of those.
Yeah, no, I can. I got to this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, because he bought one too.
Mm-hmm.
You only need 40%, but it's totally valid if you want to buy 50 just to have control of the company, like guaranteed.
I can do that later.
I'll
I'm
buy
gonna
those 2
spend-
bank pool shares.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
They are 60
Oh, hold
each,
on.
so
So 65, take 65.
Yeah, you're good.
60, spend. I'll do them one at a time just in case.
I think you should just have like 36 left.
Yeah. After I do the last one, yeah, I was just waiting to see, but yeah. All right, I'm good.
All right. That's the end of the SR. We are on to an OR. Privates pay. Lily with the SR up first.
Okay. Run for 50. Out.
Wait, how do you run for 50?
She runs 1 from the city to the dit, 1
Next
from the city to the
train,
offboard.
and then, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're doing now. That makes sense.
I'm done.
You're done.
Yep.
All right, Pat, you're up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Shaman.
Sanyo having all those stocks in the bank pool just means their ludicrously high treasury they start with just keeps getting bigger.
It does.
But when does it actually benefit Lily to have a company with all this money?
When you have a second one, I guess.
Yeah.
$300. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm debating. I think it's because if I go to if I buy both of those, we go to green, right? Or do we have to buy the first 3?
Got to buy the first 3.
God damn it.
You never break rank until you buy the new train.
Had you bought one from here, Garrick, I probably would have done it.
Oh, that's why I didn't do it.
Oh, you wanted me to do it. Got it.
I have no money to purchase privates right now. I'm fine slow rolling.
Oh, right. What's one withhold?
I want you to buy from the bank pool, and then we'll punch through later. But, you know, you do you.
Yeah, I kind of want to punch through right now, though. I know that benefits Lily a lot.
What?
Hey, Arcanum. SY is Southern Yamaguchi. And we're kind of convinced the game is trolling us.
Oh, it's 100% trolling us.
I said to myself, why could I go to the effort of learning good 18xx games when we could just play niche, strange 18xx games that require no effort? And then I have to fix the mods up, and it becomes a ton of effort anyway, and my plan is ruined.
Hey, Pat, what you doing, buddy?
Looking. Okay. Really don't want to buy 3 trains, though.
Don't buy 3 trains.
Don't buy 3 trains.
Yeah, Arcanum, this game has the best dits, double dit tiles. Like, look at this one.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 50.
This is the best tile in existence.
450 plus.
The sad face is the best tile in existence.
That's what I'm looking at, yeah. This is a fun one. This one's insane.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do something crazy.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I love crazy.
How are you going to buy your privates if you buy all those trains?
So I'm only going to buy one of my privates in.
That's crazy.
Is it the one that gives you the 2M train?
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't even have
You
mines
can't
near
e-
you.
You can't even run these guys. This is so silly.
Yeah, what are you even going to do? You're not even near a mine. You going to upgrade the Y off into Kogushi and run it through there? Is that the plan?
I'm saying nothing.
Okay. Okay.
450 plus 220. 450 plus 220. Wait. That's not right. That is technically right, but that's not right. I'm losing $20 on that train. But that's okay.
Is it though?
Yep. Do it. Spend all of it. 650.
Oh goodness. This is just gonna be a weird game, right? We're just
I mean-
nobody's taking it seriously now.
Yeah.
Go. What do you mean I'm not taking it seriously?
I'm taking it so seriously.
What
You
are
done, Pat?
talking about? Yeah, go.
All right.
We're in greens.
Alright. Yay, we're in green. I can like green tile. I can upgrade my Y. That would be good, right?
Sure.
Maybe. Probably not. Part of me is like so wanting to deny
Oh, I fall back.
this, but then
Oh,
you
you
just
did already.
upgrade the Y and you go this way. So now that Pat's punched through the green, my denial no longer makes sense. And that makes me sad.
So just do the good thing.
Yep.
Just means I'm gonna fall behind. I think. God, this is so gross because I can.
Or upgrade your Y, force me to lay the double dit.
Yeah, I forego $30 of revenue value today to be able to double run trains tomorrow. Is probably correct. Because then I can start laying towards the offboard locations. Yeah, that's probably right. I think this is probably a Run Good Companies game so far. Maybe that's a lie, I don't know. It's that one, right? No, it's never that. It's always this. It has to be that. That's the only legal one. Okay, I run for 70. And I will pay out again. And hey guys, guess what? I'm gonna buy a 3X train, cause duh.
I can't believe it.
I'm only gonna buy one, cause 250 is dumb. This is gonna be a slow train game.
There's a lot of 3X trains.
There's a lot of them. Oh, there are a lot of them. But, I mean, can I even run them? I guess I have a lot of spokes now. In theory, I can run several. Hmm. You know what? I can't run several now, and I have time to do it later, so I'm not gonna buy more than one. All right.
OR done?
OR done.
All right. Yeah, it's worth. It's worth.
How much did you buy in Okinawa for, Pat?
200.
Okay.
So I lost $20.
That's where you lost the game, I'm sure.
I don't think so. I was the only one that was able to buy in. I have more investing money. I lost $20, but like you guys both don't have privates, and Garrick doesn't have the money to do it. So I feel like that was.
Pat, it was a joke.
Oh, hold on. Let me go to Reddit real quick. Is it Art Whoosh? Is that where I'm supposed to go? What's that?
Like, I know I'm pretty flat with my humor usually, but come on.
I'm oblivious sometimes.
Hi, Garrick.
Hi.
We finally meet again.
Sure.
I'm a little sad that I'll never be able to go through this Y.
I like it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, whenever nobody grabbed that red one, or was it UR? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's gonna be a good one, especially if you guys building all this track to it already.
Yeah, no, it made sense.
All right, we're running for stuff. I'm calculating it now. For 180.
Your run is 180?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, not getting privates just lost me the game. I feel it. Are you not? Oh, you late this. That's what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, there's gonna be so much dead end track in this game.
Hmm.
There's no green dits, right? You can't upgrade the green. No.
No. Why would we have that?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll pay out. All right. That is our OR. We're into a stock round.
Okay, I will. Hmm. Hmm. Mostly just cry that I don't have $8 additional dollars. Yeah. I think I probably just pass.
Lily?
Think I'm gonna spend 65 to grab a UR.
Um, OR is gonna run better. SR save. Yeah, I'm gonna buy an SR for 100.
I'm gonna finish topping myself off on my own company.
Still on pass.
Lily? Um, apparently I somehow have enough to also buy an OR, so I guess we just buy an OR.
Spend
Yeah.
that.
I feel like I'm just in such a bad position compared to you guys.
I also don't feel great, Alan.
Oh no, I know. I think these two getting two private
Are
companies
you done,
each was
Garrick,
a
too?
Yeah, I'm done.
significant error.
I'm gonna spend 100 on that. I'm also then going to dump one of these 65. Take so I fall down. And then on the next one I'm gonna buy another SR. Because it has a permanent forever. So it's never bad to take some, I think.
It's fair.
Alright, go. That's it for me.
All right. Nothing is sold out. We have 2 ORs this time. Privates pay. And then Lily with the SR is up first. Does anyone else think this game is silly?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Very. I'm a little surprised that Lily doesn't have 4 trains, because Lily could run 4 trains right now.
Yeah, Lily says she doesn't have 4 trains, but that's fine. 70, 80, 150 paying out.
Wait, how much are you running for?
Huh?
How much
What'd
are you
you
running
ask me?
for?
150?
I see 180.
Yeah, because you can the 3 like
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that. All right, let me pay out that extra 30. My brain's like, I went to 1 off board. I can only do the 1. I'm gonna buy a 3 train.
makes sense.
Why can't I? Okay. Making me pick it up.
SR done.
SR is done.
OR.
OR will... I probably lay that. Yeah, I lay that. That's better. So... Which version of curved track do I want this time? And 3 more reasons it doesn't matter. Okay, I run for some quantity of money. Let's see here, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 11 plus 50 is 160, I think. Pretty sure that's right. God, I feel like all of this is just, in the end, too good for both of you. Like, both of you just get to capitalize on all of my track, and I hate it. Especially Pat, who has 4 fucking trains for some reason. Anyways, I run for 160. Yay.
The sad part is Pat's pretty close to running all 4 of them.
What?
Ayo.
I take it back.
I will. I will not buy a train. I'm done.
All right, UER. We'll go ahead and lay the Y, because why not?
Hey.
Hey.
Because you could make Pat lay it.
It gets me value.
Know what else gets you value?
What's that?
Laying FR.
That's not true.
You don't have a 3?
Nope.
Why
would I
didn't you
have-
buy a 3?
I have $0 in my company.
Oh no.
The token cost me
Okay.
$450.
Then why'd you do it?
Because this is why. I'm the best running company right now, temporarily.
I think that token is going to cost you the game is what it's going to cost you.
I can just withhold. All right, we are going to run. I think we run the same route, but it's boosted by 30. So it's going to be 210. And Pat, what are you about to run for?
I guess 300.
300.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and nobody has the ability to rust his trains, so like I feel like this game is callable.
I'll pay out. And I'm done. Pat with the UR.
Do that, and I'm going to run for 300.
Permastuck, what makes train games special is that they are highly interactive games about shared incentives in a common space. So they have all the fun of people having emergent alliances and competing interests all clashing out over a map, while also operating companies that can pass from player to player and exist independently of the players. It's a great genre. 18xx is particularly great because it's a core system that's really elegant. There's an incredible amount of depth for the rules weight that it has, which is really not bad for the average core rule set. Like your 1830, the original is no heavier than like the upper end of a midweight Euro. It's just got nothing in common with the midweight Euro, so it's very unfamiliar, but it's not a complicated game.
I think we restart after that, right?
What's the question?
Yeah, we got a second of war.
Yep.
SR is up.
Lily.
I'm thinking.
Okay, just making sure.
I do still exist. I am still here. Yeah. So that's math. That's 230. Oh wait, no. It's 250.
Hey guys, my apologies. I need just a couple minutes.
You're
Yep.
good. Payout.
I mean, Lily just had a big jump in money too there.
She did.
I'm done.
All right. It's unfortunate Alan had to leave because he's up.
Yeah, I was like sitting here. I did mess up when I shouldn't have bought this one because I thought I could put this anywhere and I wanted to put it here so it would double the 2M train. And then as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, I can't do that. Oh well.
Yeah, it's pretty restrictive where it can actually go. You could put it in, Onoda Ko.
Yeah, that's probably where it's going to go when I can buy it in.
And you're going to do the 2010 one, right?
Probably. I mean, I get $10 in my company every fucking time you run, so...
Yeah, I have no clue how good that actually is. But it seems fun.
I mean, it's $1 more for me. At max, it's what, $6 more for you? And I get $10 here, so I'm getting $11 from it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as bad. It could have been a lot more for you if you used it like twice, but you don't because Alan fucked you.
Yeah. It's okay, though. I still think UER was a good choice on my part. I think looking at just the map, I think it's probably the best located, being between the two Ys.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think UR also have that advantage of already having a Y, and the other one is pretty much going to come right for you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the same thing with OR at that point. Like, their two objectives are to go to each other. So, like, even if you can't token the other one, like, you just run out of the one. You have 4 spouts. You're never going to need more than that. And you can just run to the other Y.
My thinking is that the train rust is going to be slowish. So 2Xs are probably actually going to get some value, in which case anything that has 2 spokes off of its starting location is pretty good.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I was looking at UER and LO of CG with that thinking.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think I just looked at it different because I knew I wasn't opening right off the bat. Mm-hmm. So I was like,
no, it makes
I was
sense.
actually originally going to go for Low Fui.
L of UI.
Yeah, I was going to do that. And then I realized I didn't need to because I was just going to make that my starting one and then branch out. But I realized that this is just way more important.
Yeah.
And the two of you are already going for it. And I can just make UR run to it. Like, I don't even need to token it. I just need to run to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an easy 2.
This game is silly.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
I mean, I'm also was thinking you could have started IT and like ran the 2 train like right there, and then like gone the other way. But like you're just like locked in, which kind of sucks.
This feels like one of those maps where somebody looked at the like actual location, turned it into an 18xx map, and then tried to make a game around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's legit.
'Cause I don't think it makes any real sense.
Sorry.
Did you hit Private's Pay again?
Pretty sure I did. Let me see.
Check the logs.
I don't think you did, because I should have more than 80 or 70.
All right, I'll press it.
Yeah.
Alan, you're up.
Sure.
Company has it.
I think. I mean, it's like way too late for it to matter, but I think I lay this. And then run 40, 50, 70, 80, 120 plus. So 200, 240. Out. I will buy a 3x train for probably a mistake. I guess, you know what I could do, actually? Yeah, I'm not going to buy that 3x. I'm going to buy that. Oh no, I actually need it to be a. Never mind. I'll buy the 3x. Well, yeah. I want to make it to the offboard, so it makes sense to do it this way. Anyways, I'm done.
All right. UER is up. UER. Can't lay into the blues. I don't know.
Oh shit, I get a thing.
I already gave it to you.
Oh, thanks. So that you can buy it for me for cheap later.
Every time you run it, yep. I'm gonna make all that blue my bitch. No. Useless, but I'll do it.
I feel like this Y should be blue. Like, why are these the blues? Like, why do those spots matter?
Who knows? I'll drop this here for reasons.
Sorry.
I'll go ahead and run, I think the same as before, which was 210. Yep. I'll pay it out. And I'm done. You are.
All right. We're going to expend the soil token. Ooh. Which lets me build here for free.
Pat's soiling himself.
I am.
Oh, you're not doing the sharp. Interesting.
That is interesting.
I mean,
It's a choice.
I it's more because I'm like
You're trying to
my
get
thought
to the other
process behind it
point,
is I'm
maybe?
trying to incentivize people not to go for this company by making it slightly worse for now.
Oh, there's a company there? Oh, there is a company there. Okay. I mean, that company's already trashed just because it's locked out of the Y.
True.
But why is everything snapping in the wrong places?
Because this
I don't know.
this mod doesn't have snaps. It uses the grid.
Ugh.
No, you're right though. That's probably better.
Wait, that way?
What are you doing? Oh my goodness.
What?
You
I
can tie into existing
Yeah, I set up the
track.
sharps so it was a whole thing.
Oh,
I
I didn't even see that.
Oh, lovely.
I set up
I'll be
a
honest.
whole thing.
It's because like for me it doesn't matter because like I'm only running that 2 train there.
No, because you run the 2 and then you hit the dits after. You just don't hit any.
No, not with that one.
What do you
It's
have a
a
real
2M.
2?
You're using the
It's a
2M.
2M. Got it.
Yep.
Well, you upgrade this
anyways.
degree and you token it. You run from here to. No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, actually, I mean, there might have been an argument to that, but then you'd have to token it.
Ah,
which
who
is
knows?
just too fucking expensive.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to buy this in 70. Take 70.
You mean
I've
spend
given
70?
up. Yeah. And then we're going to immediately close it. Get rid of that
Wait.
shit.
Bam.
What?
Okay,
Man.
let me calculate it real quick. So, we hit that 44 times. Plus 10, 20, plus
I don't-
40,
I feel like
plus
I only have
40,
myself to blame for all
plus
of this.
1, 2, 3, 4,
This is like
80,
I said, Pat.
90,
Pat was not
100.
far from running it, and here he is.
I'm pretty sure that's 370. I feel like it should be 380. Oh, no, wait, an extra. Plus 30, plus 40, plus 1, 2, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 80, 90, 110, and then the extra 20. So I'm at 400.
I got 420.
Oh, God. Why? $160 plus 30 plus 40 plus 40 plus 110. Oh my God. I don't know where you're getting the extra 20.
Well, your 2M is running here to here for 80, right?
Yeah,
You got a 2X running here to here for.
for 70.
You got a 2X running from here to here for whatever that is.
It's another 80.
And then you got your
Yeah,
3X
80.
running 1, 2, 3 overshooting to pick up these double dits.
I can't get these over here.
This is open. You just hit the dits. You don't go to Kibe Magura. You go to.
Oh, you can do that?
Fushitsuki.
Oh, I thought I had to
Oh.
stop at the third. Oh.
I didn't realize that
If that's
this
the case,
was
then I have this one too for 430.
I didn't realize that this was hitting both dits. I should pay out an extra 10 myself.
So I have 430 then because I can count this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, you can hit any
payout.
number of dits. It's not like any number of dits between
Jesus.
your 2. It's
This
just any
is-
number of dits.
This is hilarious because I feel like this is all just me laying this tile, forcing Garrick down this way, allowing Pat to just buy into existing tile.
I was going down here anyway.
I'm
Oh
done.
yeah,
It's the middle of the map and it's a Y. This seems like the hot spot.
that's fair.
Clearly it is.
All right.
I like Jesus, the amount of money that actually is given out right now.
SR.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's like I said. I think this is callable because there's virtually no way to rush the trains at this point.
We're about to open up a bunch of companies and rush trains.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 companies are opening.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe I should have withheld that last one.
I mean, you'll still have 2 very functional trains, like even
That's
if
true.
the 2 X's burn. So Whose turn is it?
It's you. We're in the stock round. Your priority deal.
Oh shit! Look at that. Look at that. What do I do? I don't know. What companies have value here? I feel like it's probably the offboards. Like I feel like MLR or NR are the two that synergize with pretty well. I will go for MLR, I think. Just cry when that offboard turns into 10. Yeah, I think it's MLR.
What you got, Lily?
Oh, hold up. Hang on. Do I want to sell SR? Oh. Yes, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell my SR. Oh wait, no, it's on a shelf, so it doesn't matter. Go ahead, sorry.
By red.
I
I'm confused. Which of these 3 X's is the poison? All of them? Because the 4X is legit, like, it's only it's only $50. It's so expensive.
I'll par something. Gosh, who knows?
Actually, does anyone care if I actually par at 70? Just make a quick change.
Sure.
Thanks. Sorry about that.
Why'd you take an extra 10 off, Alan, instead of just an extra 5?
Because I
Oh, you had to
spent
buy two
65
stocks,
twice.
right? It's the president's cert. That's why.
Yep.
I don't love any of these companies. Don't love them.
But do you hate him?
I'll probably the L of CG. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, it's fine. I'm done.
Okay. What's left? Jesus. So many.
This one that you made
Where the
bad.
fuck?
You want the L of UI.
Where is FR on the map? And why don't I see it? Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Frank.
Hmm. I have no idea which one's gonna be good. Like I'm sitting here going,
Yeah, I thought it wouldn't be that hard for me to pick a company, and then I sat there and was like, I have no clue.
I think I'm gonna go get in on what Lily's doing, and I'm gonna par that one. Oh. What's cert limit?
16.
Okay.
All right, well, I will continue to par
Oh,
or
right.
float. I think it's this one. Hey, I got the right one. Spend. That's an awkward quantity of money. Oh well. All right, Carrick, you just float in your company.
Lily bought a red.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is probably premature, but I'm going to use the Ube to grab an SR.
Huh.
Okay. I don't think that's premature. I think SR is going to run better than the revenue from Ube.
Yep.
So
I'm gonna buy that as well.
sadness ensues.
I didn't think I had to rush it, but if we're gonna be buying other things.
I reserved my President's cert. I wanted to grab an SR while I could.
No, I don't blame you.
And I barely even lose money on that, considering it's worth 120 and now it's going to bump up to 140.
Yep. Nope, I don't blame you. Actually, isn't it going higher than 140 because there's 2 hours? It'll be 160.
Well, sure. Like it's going to bump up from the stock round and then it's going to go over to 180.
Yeah.
So I'm making money on it now. Assuming
Oh, you're right. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
it's worth more than if I'd bought it in. Lily, you got anything?
No, I'll just buy something. I'm done. You guys can just do whatever.
All right, now I'm just buying up.
I'm going to buy one of those first, though.
Okay. I continue to buy the Mine Light Railway.
You're on pass, Lily?
Yeah.
I bought a private or a share.
Okay. I will. Let me see. What direction does this go? Hang on one sec.
That sounded like a work phone.
It did sound like a work phone. Permastuck, I was planning on it just as an excuse to play it all day.
Alright, sorry about that.
What's that?
I will. Sell the question. Is that 60 spent?
I'm still gonna have to do tournament stuff over the weekend, but I plan on booting it up as soon as it unlocks at like 6 o'clock.
Did
on
you
Thursday.
sell one of mine? Really?
Mine's gonna run better.
And then through Friday up until the game.
Okay.
You heard him dissing your company like that, Pat?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we won't hit 4 trains, but I feel like people are incentivized to do that before he runs.
No, we're gonna buy the 2x from the bank pool. I bought one of mine.
Oh, this drops to 55.
Elden Ring screen in the corner while the tournament's going on.
I'm on pass. Hang on.
What you thinking?
Buying one of yours.
Which one of mine?
The
The
new
one I haven't floated yet?
Yep. Loaded now.
Ah. Well, thank you.
No problem.
All right, I'm back.
There we go.
It goes back to you. They're both on pass, I said.
Yeah, I'm debating what to do now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Y'all both have too many fucking stocks.
It's fucking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. SR sold out. I have a red. I have a green. I don't have an MLR. And I can buy one more of my own. Let's buy an MLR for 70.
I'm buying another one of those and then dumping.
Cool.
That's the
Go.
wrong one. That's the wrong one, Alan. What'd you do?
Oh, sorry.
Was that below or above? Below?
It was below.
Yeah. It should be below. Goes back to you. Is it still me?
Debating.
Or are you
real
doing
quick.
something?
Thinking real quick. God damn, I'm $1 short. That fucking sucks. Yeah, go ahead. I'm on pass.
Just sell something else, Garrick.
Yeah, no.
Are you guys good for me just to keep going?
Yeah.
Again?
Yep.
Debating.
Well, in that case, I'm debating.
I mean, I feel like you're incentivizing other people to drop your company more, but I guess it's a question of if Garrick and Lily want to play that game. I can't really do anything about it, and it doesn't make sense to drop MLR on you, so yeah, keep going. I mean, if you're literally just trying to manipulate turn order, I feel like all Garrick has to do is drop his 1, and he's
Yep.
incentivized to do that.
Permastuck, I mostly
know.
played Commander, multiplayer Commander, which I always say prepared me for Root, because Root's basically the same thing. I also played a lot of Cube. I have a Pauper Cube that I liked a lot.
And then I'm just going to keep floating mine unless someone says they're doing something.
Yeah, Garrick,
I'm
are you
looking
really
at the-
gonna let this happen?
I'm looking at the turn order and thinking about it.
I mean, all this does is help Pat. It lets him withhold with all 4 trains and basically get out of jail free card. I mean, he's already the runaway winner. If you don't do something about this, he just wins.
Oops.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess Lily could do it too, but I don't know if she does.
Is there a reason you're not doing it, Alan?
He
I
already sold one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I already sold one. I can't do it.
Hmm.
I'm at what, 15?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
What's the current order? LFCG before MLR. You're first. All right, I'll sell a UR. And buy an MLR. And on a subsequent turn, I'll sell an MLR. No, that's not right. Sorry, I meant I would buy one of my own and sell one of my own. That's what I meant to do.
So you want to go after him. I don't get it. This still leads to him having his 2 X's on his turn. There's not enough companies to burn through the trains.
Just buy trains aggressively.
Yeah, he's pressuring you to do it on your own now.
I can't do it on my own. Legitimately can't. It's too much money.
That's true.
It's
Actually, it's
not
800.
possible.
Yeah. Because I'm not buying 2 trains on.
It's literally not
blue.
possible. I don't know what Garrick's doing here. He's just giving you the game. I think he's trying to force me to do more than I'm capable of doing, and it's gonna lose. Like, he's your only other contender, and I think if he does this, he just loses. Like, I don't know why I care. I'm already out of the game, really, but
Right. Well, I'm gonna pass on that.
all right. Well, I'm still on pass, so are we moving into the OR? Everyone's being very quiet.
I think Garrick's thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking it over. Do we ever get to ride the trains? We're riding the trains plenty. I'm gonna stick to my guns.
Okay.
All right.
Lily.
Wait, there's no way PD ends up on Pat.
Yeah,
Mm,
you bought and sold, and I passed.
I did that while you were floating up, sir. Be real now. Come on. We have 2 ORs, privates pay. SR's up first.
Lily.
I'm here.
Okay.
You bought and sold. Come on, Pat.
What? So you did. That was technically the last thing that was done.
You want to roll back and make you buy those shares one at a time? I'll do it. I will do it.
I don't want that.
You know,
Done.
Garrick, this is kind of nice. Usually we're the ones that are never winning.
That's
We're
true.
usually the ones. This is a kind of an opposite game.
You win the like a large percentage of these games, more
Pretty
than
sure I won 3 of them.
25%.
Lily, would you like to buy a 3X train? I've been told it's imperative.
No.
All right, Pat wins. I don't. I mean, if people aren't gonna play the game, then the game just doesn't go anywhere. I mean, I feel like we should be incentivized to burn the trains of the point leader.
I agree. Lily has money. You have money. You guys both operate before him.
Yeah, I wonder whose shenanigans led to that.
I really don't see why it's my fault if I've put you two in the position where you have the money to do it and the train slots to do it, and I can get better trains by doing it after you guys.
I don't have the money that you think I have, but all right.
You have 700. That buys 2 of them. Lily has
Nope,
571. That buys 1 of them.
That buys 1 and a token that is pretty imperative to anything that I'm trying to do.
Well, see,
But-
who's letting him win now? You see my point?
Well, see, but you're trying to put all the pressure on us when, like, I'm sorry, I will contribute, but I'm not gonna tank my game just so that you can, like, get all the value benefit. No, you're gonna lose the game with us. It's fine.
Anyway, sounds like OR's up.
Cool. All right. Where's the tile I need? And let's see here. 1 120. 80 plus 50 is 130, so that's 250 plus it's 350. Ugh. I will withhold.
So close.
I saw your hand creeping towards me as it wasn't centered perfectly. And I was trying so hard to do it. Oh man. That was funny. I just saw the green hand creeping towards what I was doing.
Spend.
Uh,
Okay. OR is done.
All right, UER is up. UER is going to we bother to lay track? Can't reach anything, don't have money. We don't lay track. All right. We're just gonna run for 210. We will pay out. Move over. UER is done onto BR.
Oh, I get another thing. Hang on.
I say I technically get 2 of them. Yeah, I just realized. Because I got 1 for running here and 1 for running here last turn.
I feel like these soil tokens are pointless.
Yep.
I think it's just a mechanic the game didn't need.
I mean, it saves you money. I mean, I guess they could have just taken the cost off of them. Probably been just as easy.
I think the map just isn't designed properly to take advantage of them. They're in a bunch of spots that mostly don't matter. You know?
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
I don't think there's anything wrong inherently with the mechanism. It's just
Yeah, that's fair.
Pat, you're
That's
up, by the
totally
way.
fair.
Oh, sorry. On BR?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that. Sure, that'll do. Sorry, once I'm done coughing.
It's all good.
What's next after BR?
MLK or MLR. Sorry.
Mlur.
Miller.
Where did all the, because you had some over there to buy.
Oh, I withheld. I ran for 350 and then I withheld.
I see. So it's 550. You're not gonna be able to token if you decide to do that. I mean, I have to buy one. You're gonna buy one over here.
You forget that I can emergency buy. Although I guess I'd be buying the 2x train.
Yeah.
It's fine. At that point, I probably just buy a 3x over from the other company.
So I think I do this. The odds are, I'm looking at what's gonna happen here, and I'm just like trying to debate if the 2x's die or not. Are you incentivized to buy the 3x and the 4x? Or if you just don't care?
I mean, I'm at the point of, like, literally nobody else did anything to help me make it happen, so I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, when Lily and Garrick just threw their hands in the air, that the chances of me doing anything went way down.
I adjusted his operating order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that and be done. I fall back.
Like, I don't know. It's not a very entangled game when you're expecting the person in the losing position to do all the work, Garrick.
It's entangled, it's just greedy.
Well, and you'll see how that works out for you. Anyways, MLR. Is there ever a world where Ube matters? I feel
No.
like no. I think it's probably just maximize my earnings by placing
I
out
read this
track.
private wrong. That shouldn't be here. I forgot you only get the 2 turn when you close it. So I'm gonna take out that $60 that's in there. I'll let 60.
Oh, you kept the private around. I got you.
Yep. Spend 60. Nothing changed. I'm just gonna take out 3 ORs worth, which is all we would have had.
Okay, place that and token here.
That 450 for that token.
Yep.
Wow.
I thought about it afterwards. I realized I probably should have opened FR instead. That would have been the better thing to do. I just wasn't thinking about it. 450 spend. And then I think what I actually want to do here, since Garrett got greedy, I think I probably want to move the 2x and the 3x over. 4249. Spend. Take. Actually, I think I move all but one. Yep, that's what I do. And I adjust my stock price, and I'm done.
You are.
Oh, you are as in like the company you are, not you
Yes.
are like you are done. My bad. That does cut my run off here, which kind of is sad, but
Well, that's so strategically, I felt like for my game, cutting the two of you off from going up north was more valuable.
Then rusting his trains.
I mean, his trains are still gonna rust. And you know, maybe I'm being a little bit too loud and obnoxious about it, but I really do think you had more of a responsibility than you're giving yourself credit. Like, I think that I am not your immediate competition, and you needed to incentivize me to do it. And I was telling you what you needed to do to incentivize me to do it.
all right, let me figure this out real quick. Actually, it should just be minus what?
This
Minus
is clearly just
30,
spite for this
40,
trackway.
50.
Clearly.
Fair enough.
So it was 400 minus 50, 350 plus 10. I'm at 360. I want to pay that out so bad, but I feel like that's a mistake. Because I'm in green down there. Yeah, I'm gonna take that 360 and fall back. So I'm in yellow, not green. What am I saying?
Lots of companies just became yellow.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm done.
Okay. LFCG. will who knows? We'll lay that. We'll fall back.
I mean, to be fair, Alan, as well, is that he only has 2-2Xs with no money in that company. He also needed the 4s not to rust right away. Or the 2s to...
I mean, I get that, but he also chose not to withhold. Like, if he had withheld with his company last turn, he would have been able to afford a 3x train. He just chose not to.
I'll buy over a 2x for 650.
Okay.
I guess 649 really. And what's that?
I said interesting.
And that's that. Next OR. Privates pay. SR's up first.
I was gonna say there's no privates, but then I realized, oh, white gets paid privates because my privates are in it. That's funny.
I'm also still getting $5.
Yeah, no, I forgot you had your 5, but yeah, I was like, why is white getting paid privates?
Oh, that's actually a problem because it's going to take money out of the bank.
Oh, you're right.
Not that we're going to break the bank, but
Oh,
I didn't even think
that's
twice
weird.
of that. I was just gonna see how much money you could collect by the end, but that's actually true.
Lily? You're muted.
What's up?
Your turn's up.
Oh, okay.
I think we might have to call this at the end of the OR.
I figured that's what we'd do.
SR's done.
Okay.
UER. UER.
Did you use that last turn, Garrick? That slot?
I must have, and I just forgot to add the 10.
Okay. Yeah, I would do your payout of 20, and I just took my 10 into my company.
Pay out of 10 for me.
Oh, right.
Fix that. UER is gonna lay. What am I trying to lay? That. No, it doesn't look great. It's gonna get cut off. Do it that way. Laying that. We will run our 2x train for it's worth 40, 30. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I think 14. Pays out. Moves over. I'll buy 3 and a 4.
Buy 2x train. Oh, and the one in the market goes away too.
And that's that. OR is up.
Okay. OR will... OR is gonna lay this. How am I gonna lay it? Which version of this tile makes any sense? Probably
You don't need it. I'm just gonna get rid of it for you.
this one. Grab this last chicken foot. Okay. And then I can run for 30, 70, 80, 140. And that run feels bad after the last 350. Paying out. Moving right. And buying a 4 train for 300. Okay.
BR.
1, 2, 3. Where do we put that? No. That could be interesting. Sure. Not that I get to use any of it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I stopped there. Sad. No, we're not doing that then. That makes no sense. I'm not going to help someone else. I'm going to run this instead. And then we run for 3. So we got 1, 2, 3. So 30, 60, 70, 100. Pay out that 100. I think I'm going to buy that 4x. Yeah. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. Go.
You paid out? Or you withheld? Yeah.
I paid out.
MLR.
I don't know if I have a lot more in the way of relevant track lay. Guess I'll just start laying towards the sea. And well,
I mean, the sea is just a normal tile that has a teleport.
Yeah.
No, I know. I know.
Oh, wait. What
just-
company
I
did you buy with your thing, by the
don't-
way, Garrick?
It wasn't connected.
Oh, it has to be connected to get the teleport? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's only a teleport if you sell it to the company. If not, it just gives the company the opportunity to place the token if they're connected at that moment.
Got
I
it.
think I'll do it this way instead. That makes a bit more sense to me.
This is Dits Central, Douglas. All of them. It's very silly.
Why do I keep moving tiles? All right, it's 2 3s, so it's gonna be. Let me see here. That is 40, 30, 40. This is 40, 40, 40, so that's better. So I can run this for 120, and then this for 40, 40, 50, 60. So 140. So it's 260.
Yeah.
Yeah. 260. Paying out. Yeah. Moving up.
Is it me, right? Yeah, it's me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So my 2 train runs for 100. And then I think this is still the better one because this is 40, 50, 60, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40. Up to here is 180, 190, so a total of 290.
You can't go through.
Oh, I can't go through. You're right. So 280. I think that's better than going the other way because I end up stopping 40, 40. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. This might actually be better. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 120, 30, 60, 70, 80, 90, 290. Yeah, that one's one better. So we run for 290. And we're going to pay that 290 out.
You are done?
Yes, sir.
All right. LOCG. Who even knows? Will they?
So many stupid tokens.
Will they that? We'll fail to run. We'll buy. The 3x over. For $1. And that's that. That's the end of the set.
Cool. All right.
Well, that was something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we just failed to police the private auction well enough, and that just had such a dramatic effect on the long-term course of the game. But
I
like,
think it came down to there was the big battle for that B&O. That went for a lot of money. And some of you didn't take other things either, to like back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lily passing on the private to you just so that she could fight for SR was part of it. I think that
The problem is if she
me
took
getting
that private, she wasn't gonna be able to float. Her only way to float was to get the B&O because it was so high at that point.
well, but I mean, we've seen how that works in the past, right? Is you don't float for a couple of rounds. You
I mean,
collect
that's
your
fair.
revenue. You buy other stocks. Like, not floating is not the end of the world. But the flip side of that is I chose, instead of choosing to police something relevant, I chose to go in on the two most expensive things during the private. Like, I probably should have policed Garrick on whatever the token teleport one was. I don't remember what it's called.
That was the third one. But yeah, the middle
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
of course, like, I disincentivized any entanglement with Garrick by placing this tile.
Well, I mean, because you were scared of Garrick at the beginning because he was open and was making almost as much as me. So like, I get it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was trying to deny him the double run because
Yeah,
he had that capacity and I didn't, which I
I
didn't
don't
think
think
about.
that was wrong. I think where it went wrong is where you guys both rushed here and UR wasn't open yet, and I was able to just snag it and the
Yeah.
benefit and profit from all of the work you guys did. It's like I was always there the entire time.
Mhm.
Well, but the problem and the reason why this was an issue is because, like, Garrick and I, neither of us had anywhere else to go. I mean, I will say, like, before we hit greens, if I had laid directly into UER, I would have had no track lays after that for several rounds.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, because you just go in there and you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been completely trapped. Like, and maybe opening OR just was not a strong play. I wasn't thinking about that. Like, I just saw it as controlling a Y. I wasn't considering, like, the long-term early game track lays and how slow the 2x trains would go. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I got a lot of money off of those. I think I ran for 300 plus 3 times.
Yeah, and that was, like, honestly, we could have called this game like 2 hours ago. Which, like, that is what it is, and I gave Garrick a really hard time, probably unfairly, but, like, the game was already over. It didn't really matter. I mean, Garrick is not out of this by any means. Like, where we're sitting now. I mean,
so it's over and over. We can call it. Oh, Garrick's not out of it though. Come on. Which is it?
With enough shenanigans, you could still pull it out. But if you look at your position right now, like, the stock valuations for Pat's companies are just better. Like, he's going to be earning more. His values are higher.
He's running better, but I'm 60% into the second best company and 20% into the best, and he's 30% in the best, and then his are all lower than the second best. My valuations are better in that regard. I had to drop a couple of shares because I was policing turn order in the stock round, so my density's a little lower right now, which isn't great.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is where my strategy was. I realized that UR is going to be the yellow company and blue is just going to keep paying out over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So like I would, yeah, right. So like it's just I did it backwards where my new company is the good one and my old one's the bad one because it was already so low because I had to tank it to get turn order to get the extra 400.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to set myself up for MLR to be a yellow company, but I think I was also in the awkward position of just I needed payouts in order to get the value so that I could get stock density.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I definitely was just like slow out of the gate and never quite got where
I also
to get.
think me being able to trigger greens and then buy in my stocks before anyone else could, not my stocks, my privates, before anyone else could really help too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I think people gave you a little bit of side eye for it, but it worked out for you.
That's why everyone was like looking like you're really gonna buy 3 trains and then get a 4th one from your private. What are you gonna do with that? And then I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get to run them all. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, I knew you were going to run it all. My only real concern was that you were not buying in for full value or anything when you could have just waited around and done that, basically. You know? And buying it in early, you're not getting the revenue from the privates to your hand.
I guess that's fair, but I didn't think of it that way. I wasn't running that train that turn anyway. I could have done that the turn after, but I wanted the 200 to buy more stocks to gain that ground because I felt like I was behind early on because I was stuck not able to buy anything and I had to sell all the stocks I had gained, right?
fair.
All of Lily's stocks. So I was like, I want that $200 immediately to buy more stocks and have investments everywhere because that's like where I've always struggled is I don't buy enough of other people's stocks. And this time I have one of everything except for all the new companies that open, which is where I was going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Although I was debating opening a third company, but I feel like that would have been pushing my luck.
I don't know. There's so many companies in this game.
But I'm looking at it though, like the companies that are left, they all feel like they're kind of locked out. Like this entire northern strip, like where are you going with these?
My thought was JTY if I can get it, because I'm not going to token that. Lily's already tokened it, and JTY's not going to token it.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going to come in and token it. And I was like, do you want to pay like $2,000? I don't think so. So I was like, my thought was if I can get this, I can just run them as good companies with high value, basically.
I gotta say, that token distance cost is like the stupidest mechanism I've ever seen.
Yes, that is horrible. Like, you're just not incentivized to try and block people and do. Like, I was just not worried about people being, like, blocking me.
It's just flat out bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
that also let me run for 300 more. Like, had you just been able to token for 40 instead of 300 and something?
Right.
Was it 4? How much did that cost you, that space?
That cost me 450, and it's legitimately just because I planned it poorly. I really should have started FR because I knew that the plan was to token here, so I don't know why I did MLR.
Oh yeah,
of
that would have
FR.
been the smarter one. Yeah.
I mean, I still think it's weird that if your whole goal was to token just to police, I don't know why you thought that was the better police than the trains.
Because it was policing both of you, not just the one.
But like, you look at it polices us by like what, 40, 50, if that.
I mean,
it would have policed us both. I had only 2 trains at the time.
That's true. I don't know. Like, I think it's one of those things where I had to choose which version of the play I was doing. Like, I specifically parred at 700 in order to be able to afford the token plus the train. Like, maybe there's a world where it does make more sense for me to buy a 3-4 just to deny the one run of the 2Xs, but it's like I can deny the one run of the 2Xs when I know they're going to burn anyways, or I can do something that has long-term impact on the game.
Where were you? Sorry, I thought you were done.
Well, no, it's fine. I was just going to say, like, maybe it would have been more impactful for you to both lose access to your 2Xs. I don't know, but I was also a little bit tapped out. I was a little bit like, fine, Garrick's going to put everything on me. I'm just not going to bother. Like, I'm not. I feel like I get that way in games sometimes, and I apologize for that. But like, legitimately, if somebody's gonna put all of the effort onto the player who's in third, I don't see why I would ever go along with that.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the type of crazy plays that gets me from second to first. And I had the worst trains, and I didn't want to buy worse trains than I needed to if I'm buying the next rank of trains. I
think that's where you would have been in trouble is the trains, because I have double your trains right now,
that's
and
my
still
big
enough money to buy.
The
only thing is I'm technically train locked right now, unless someone else buys that 4 and then I buy the 5. But if we get to 5s right now, I'm train locked.
Yeah.
That's the only issue, which isn't the end of the world, because I can still run these fine with how the game's set up. Like, you don't need 5s and 6s, really. Like, the Dits kind of make up money.
I was vaguely considering withholding MLR to try to get the 4X train. I couldn't have afforded it anyways. That was what it was.
Yeah. With that 260 and the 79?
Well, the 79 was from the
Oh,
payout.
right.
because there's a bunch of MLR in the
Yeah.
bank. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was my best chance, even if someone else was selling my company. And I
Oh
figured,
no,
worst
you-
case, someone dumps one or two more, then like I get more money into my company. Like thought it was a win-win
Yeah.
for me to try to do it.
Oh no, what you were doing made perfect sense. You had the capital control, and it made sense for you to not only manipulate turn order, but also tank everybody else's value at the same time. Like
Yeah,
that was a strong play. And unfortunately I didn't recognize it until I had already sold off Ube myself.
yeah, that's
so
why I
couldn't
did
do
it. I
anything
was
about
gonna
it.
wait to do it until like to see, but like whenever you saw, I'm like, oh, perfect. Now Garrick or Lily have to do it, and I don't think Gilly, Garrick.
Oh,
God, my words sometimes.
new
God damn it.
new couple name, Gilly. I like it.
I'm sure Lily will love it.
Oh yeah, that's what we'll call the. Never mind, we won't talk about that. So question: what were your intentions with green coming up this way? Were you trying to get into here, or were you trying to go the entire way to here? Because like that's one big 2 train right there.
Yes, my plan was either one big route all the way up, or to sharp into here and then have this gentle through here and do like zigzag. So I was probably gonna end up go straight, since the straight got laid here.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's what because when I saw you doing that, I was actually afraid. Like I wanted you to lay this and go straight, so I could do the hard, so you couldn't go into here. Because I wanted to do this with BR, so that BR could run a really nice train to here, and then keep going this way, right? Like the whole zigzag, and it could have had a ridiculously good 3 train.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same incentive for L of CG because it has a 3 train.
Yeah, that's what okay, at least we were on the same page and we weren't going to work against each other. That's more what I was wondering. I was like, are we going to end up working against each other? Do we want different things here?
Yeah. I will say one mistake
Yeah.
I made very early in the game that I was just kind of like kicking myself the whole time was in the OR, the SR following when SR company was at 120 and I didn't sell it, and then you dumped 3 of them all at once. I was just like,
Yeah.
any chance I had just went out the window. Like the early game value, the loss was just too much.
Yeah.
That said, SR was a safe share. I don't see any game where that doesn't end up in the top right of the stock market.
I mean, yes, that's true. But if I had sold the SR and Pat had lost out on $30 worth of value, would he have
Oh, I
had
wouldn't have been able to open that turn. I would have had to wait another round. That's the only reason it worked, is because you didn't sell it.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at it. I was like, I was $4 short. And the only reason I was $4 short is because I didn't buy them up the turn before, because I didn't know it could run in round 1.
Yeah.
Because if I had done that, I would have gained that $20. I would have gained the $20 run. I would have gained an extra 6, and I would have been fine.
That $200
really mad at
permanent
myself.
6 is so silly.
This game is just silly.
It is.
It's interesting. I think I probably over-policed Lily on the SR.
Yeah.
But she was gonna get through the train rush without getting rocked at all. Like,
and she still has $500. Like,
right.
600. Like,
yeah, like I feel like it takes too long to get to your second company, but the flip side of that is you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
I almost wonder if it would make more sense to par it lower just so that you can afford to pull in all of your stocks faster.
Because it can make so much early. The problem is that like that's something that could be eaten up very easily, like by someone who got a lot of privates. Like I should have bought all 3 of those right away.
Yeah.
I should have been a equal shareholder as her at 30%, or I don't know if she was at 40%, and just kept those 3 shares as long as I could, and just like made bank off them until I could open like maybe 3 or 4 SRs down the road.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going anywhere. I was just gonna make money off of them.
It's odd because normally the incentive is to buy the cheaper shares, but the fact that it has a train to run in the first OR and it will only go up in value means it's worth dropping $100 on an SR share in the first stock round.
Yeah.
So it like completely flips that incentive in a very strange way.
Yeah, because usually you don't care about doing it. With the B&O, like you just let it sit there because it goes down to 90 and then you can buy up. But it's also not usually in the bank, right? This has only been a few games that have them in the bank pool where they auto float.
Yeah.
Because 30 doesn't do that, right?
Yeah.
There's things in this game that I don't dislike. It's just it's like the last game we played. Interesting ideas that don't feel like they're fully well executed.
I really like the Dits. I thought I would hate them, but like the way the trains work, I think that's a really cool puzzle to make the best runs you can. It's very different than what we're used to. I really don't like the blue tiles. I feel like that's a waste altogether.
Yeah,
Kinda
I think
silly.
there's a better way to do the whole double dit thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I like the idea.
yes.
I don't think this map is living up to its
No.
potential.
I agree with that. I like the idea a lot. It was a really fun puzzle to try and figure out. Because like you're used to just like laying track and like at that then you can just upgrade it later to reconnect things. Like here, like if you laid the wrong track for like something later on, you're just SOL.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also just like don't understand the company placements on this map. Like there's literally 5 companies that just can't operate for like the first 3 hours of the game.
I think that's because of the way like we play it compared like isn't that something like you said, Garrick, right? Because people play where you start in green.
That's the other rule set, like the quote unquote normal or original rule set, which has more changes from the like standard 1830 thing. And yeah, it starts with all of the yellow 2 trains in the bank pool rather than just a few of them.
Ha.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't
So-
know.
But why?
It-
I mean, I get that like the valuation of 250 on the 3 trains makes them like much worse. Like but there's
Again,
so
I
many
think
of them that you can't afford not to buy them.
I mean, I'm wondering if it's because like we're playing it like the other way, where you're wanting to get these big trains because you want to run big runs, but like you don't need to. Like in all seriousness, like a 3 and a 4 or even a 2 and a 3 make you a ton of money, right? Like you
Right.
don't need to rush the
Yeah.
trains. If everybody is like taking all the 2s and 3s, and we're not opening mass amounts of companies and we're playing it very slowly, like probably intended.
mhm.
I'm sure that's why it is that way. And then once you start building up to those bigger runs, like that's when you start
Yeah.
burning off those other ones. But like until then, like this is a 2 train.
Right.
I
Right?
I vaguely wonder, is this game feel like it would be better at a 5-player count?
I do wonder if it would be. I don't know about.
All right, I'll get Joey. I'm sure I can convince them.
Oh, God.
I don't know that it would
Poor-
be good, but I think it probably would
poor-
at least have
poor
more going
Joey.
on with more people.
Yeah. I mean, I think the private auction has so few privates that with 5 players in the game, there's more incentive for them to actually get spread out across the table. And I think that I feel like this game felt weird because we had
2 people having income, 2 people having no income, and that's something that really
yeah.
Well, that auction should not have resolved the way it did, even at 4-player. There
Right.
actually is one of the variants for this rule set is an additional private. Let me spawn it.
So like I'm quite curious. Like, did I play it bad by trying to get 2? Like, should I have not taken both of them?
I mean, it worked out for you.
No, I
No, I know,
think you
it's-
and I did the private
Yeah,
private
okay.
draft properly. So this one is just tacked on, and this is an alternate version of the 2M train one.
So is this is a better version of the 2M train one?
No, because this has no revenue. The normal one has
No,
20.
read it, Pat.
No, I know. You get the revenue of everything hit. Right? It's like
Yeah.
oh, so I guess in this case I
Yeah,
would get like
you-
60 revenue.
Well, so like you can hold it privately, give a free 2 train to any company without having to sell it in.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Before and this is before you could do this in the first turn.
Yeah. This one seems silly, so I just, straight up deleted it. This one seems like it could be okay.
Yeah, I mean it's just your typical Mohawk and Hudson.
That one probably would have helped a lot, because I think Alan would have ended up with that and probably not overbid Lily, and it would have been a lot more of an even, or even vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
I mean its valuation is a little weird just because like yeah the revenue is high, but it automatically takes you out of the capacity to float a company. But again, like as
25
I
revenue
mentioned,
is no joke.
yeah, I mean you just invest in other companies and sit on your 25 revenue for a few rounds. It's not the end of the world.
And
Like, I
unlike,
actually
unlike the
wonder if
BNO,
this-
this can actually be bought in. Like, no one's actually going to trade this for an FR share. You
Yeah.
know?
No, God no.
Well, part of me wonders then if like that's what their intent was, to like only have like SR float at the beginning, and everyone's like investing and buying shares of it as it grows, and then like dumps it. Like, I don't know.
I will say this Ube private is also kind of busted. Like the fact that it's only worth 70, but you can trade it in for literally any stock. Does it ever not just buy you an SR stock? I mean,
In this game, probably not. I mean, we've played other games with trade-in privates like this. Like, there's the one in 57 that trades in for any company, but in that game, you know, companies all kind of suck. And
yeah, because
cares?
they never run.
you're right.
Companies in 57 don't run.
Oh, is that the one where we didn't run a train for like the first like hour and a half and then played route?
As God intended.
Okay, got it. God damn it. That's God intended.
Oh man.
Trains were made to be rusted, not ran.
Oh god. So
we-
we're yeah.
We've been playing a series of slower train rust games lately. Oh well. So next week.
So what
back
we've
to
learned is
Tokyo?
being aggressive, but being aggressive doesn't always work.
Hey, we made it work in Tokyo.
We did.
I mean, I think that's fine. I think we were just weren't adjusted to it, but like I think Tokyo plays fine. I really like Tokyo. I think that's a really good map.
No, I agree. It's one of my favorites.
Again, I wish this one. I really like the idea of the Dits. I feel like it's a really cool thing, and I really wish it was a lot better. Because it's not bad, but it definitely needs a little bit of work.
We could try the other rule set, but it's wacky and weird.
Yeah.
No, I'm not against that if people want to.
What do you?
I'm
what do you
afraid
guys
of it.
think? What do you guys think the strongest company is? Because like I feel like it's somewhere around here.
It's definitely around here. My feeling was that with initially my feeling was that with a slow train rush, anything that had two pieces of track pre-laid is good. So LFCG and UER, and UER is the one that's next to 2Ys. So I think unless you get hate track from one of the directions, UER is objectively the most powerful. But working under the assumption that something like OR is going to get floated, I do think it shifts to something like UR.
I was actually I'm looking at C.
Well, just remember
and
what
I'm
you
wondering-
it's stuck going the other way for at first, right?
No, it is.
So until green comes in, UR is kind of like stuck.
UR and
what
OR
I'm
are in the
wondering-
same boat, but I think this is the better positioned Y. But I could be wrong there. There's
What
certainly...
I'm wondering is C has the cheapest token into this Y.
It does.
And I don't know if that like automatically makes it.
Problem is
Good,
C is not a
like-
company.
Oh, it's not?
It's a private.
No, that's the teleport spot. It's reserved for the
Oh.
teleport. It's the C private.
What? That's dumb.
It is dumb.
Okay. Never mind. I give up. Like, I feel like this token spot is probably the most important token in the game.
Mhm.
Which is why I think UR is one of the best, if not the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though UR has, the bad exit at the start of the game, I think it more than makes up for it in the mid game.
But like, is it that bad? If this doesn't get floated, you just work your way around this way, slowly building
sure.
up all this, right?
It's the same thing as like over here. It's it's great if the company isn't floated, and it's workable if it isn't.
Yeah. I also think that if someone gets UR or even like this company, because like I think this company might have a chance at being good as well. You can't let them have the B. Which one was it? Was it the B? No, the D. This one. You can't let them have that 2 train.
Yeah.
Like that. That was super strong.
Yeah.
Like a 2 train that was running for just 60 that doesn't go away till we get 6x, and that's not gonna happen for a while. Like I still had like probably like 6 ORs, if not more.
Well, and at that point, you're incentivized to run around this side.
I mean, I
Although I
can't.
guess
It's
it
just a
only
2M. It
doubles.
doesn't. Well, it also doesn't go through. It doesn't go through Dits.
No,
Dits
you'd
count.
have to go down this way, but that's not worth it at that point.
I mean, I would just rather hit the
literally
40.
just
Trains.
yeah.
Does that mean
Well,
this is ridiculous?
so
I think
why
the
does
only way
this?
it's better. The only
Why
way it's
does that
better is if you get
exist?
one of these 2 up here. This.
Yeah, why does that exist? I don't
No
understand.
idea. There's no reason. Oh,
And,
you
like,
know why? It's because it isn't for that. It's so you can get your token, so you can start flooding this
Yeah.
or unflooding it. That's the only reason it's there.
You're supposed to
guess-
want to run down to here from like UER or from here and
yeah. I feel like so
Looks-
much of the layout of this map and where these mining tokens are is just like they designed it this way because they were trying to make the 2M train not as good.
I think it's
I
one of
mean,
those
I think
maps
the
where they
2M train is
just
supposed to be used here.
I think it's one of those maps where they just simulated the physical location
Yeah,
and then adjusted
like all
it
the
to a
mines
game.
are in the mountains.
Right.
And then, hey, look, there's a bunch of water that they need to like fill in so they can use tracks.
Right.
Like if these actually had like value to them, because like there's no point in being out here.
Right. If you had like shipping offboards or something down here.
Yeah, something.
That's
There's just
fair.
no reason to go south. There's literally no reason unless you're trying to like circumvent. But like, why? Like,
Or if you had
especially with how the trains work.
If you had the Dits out a layer and had water on the inside and you needed to build up soil
Yeah, that
tokens
would be
to-
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
And that's 18SY. Hey, we
After,
can
like-
we can dump on it. We liked JPT enough that we can dump on one of Hojo's games.
Again, I don't think it's like horrible to the point where like it was unfun to play. I think if we played it again, it would be more fun because we know what we're doing and what to expect.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's good enough to me to want
I-
to play again. If that
I
makes
think
sense.
I think I would want to play the other version of it for no other reason, frankly, than just those 2X trains slowed the game down so much.
So much.
Yeah,
Like starting with the 3X trains as the game was intended probably has the effect of the train rush that I am used to.
yeah. I also think that makes some companies a lot better, a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, SR becomes a powerhouse. Like
Yeah.
Lily would be justified for spending $300 on it, honestly.
Yeah, UR and OR become a lot powerful too because they get their Y four-way fork right off the bat.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, if I could have laid the Y off of OR and just chosen to go in a different direction, I think it would have made something of a difference. I don't know.
I
I
think what
feel
you
like
could have done too is like blade a sharp this way and like try and like go up right away.
That's an idea.
yeah,
Like,
but I
nothing
feel
stopped you from doing that.
But I felt like tying into the network that Garrick was building was still going to end up being important. It just ended up being that him token me out of here
I mean,
made all of that pointless.
like this. Why didn't you could have done like where is it? I want any sharp. Sure, that one, and then another sharp. So like, I already had a sharp.
Oh, to just double back into the Y.
Ooh it
Like
up,
that,
baby.
right?
Ooh it up.
Right? Like, and then you can easily make this something else to go this way after. Like, there are those weird green. Yeah, like there's that. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, not that one, but
Yeah, I guess. I wasn't really looking at it that way, but you're probably right.
like that would have unlocked you to go right to the top, and then you would have at least been open. And by then, I'm like sure we're gonna hit green. So like, hey, like you can just double run the off board here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think part of it is I just misevaluated the companies and chose a company that wasn't as powerful. Like, I had first crack at companies. I could have picked a better one.
I was surprised UR didn't get picked.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was genuinely surprised one of you, two of you didn't. I see why Garrick chose what he did.
Yeah.
I think honestly, you may have wanted to choose this just because he had first picked OR and he had the Ray to double like screw you basically.
Yeah, that was a misevaluation on my part. I should have gone LFCD just because OR was opened.
Yeah.
But my thought with LFCG is I wouldn't have made it into this Y then. I would have just been leeching off of it next to it. And I saw that this was going to be a nexus for the map, you know?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, same thing. Like, could you have gotten there like 1, 2, 3 in?
Not faster than OR could have gotten there.
Yeah.
I will say that you
1, 2,
going
3, 1, 2. Yeah.
you going UER is almost like a direct counter to me opening as OR. Because if UER hadn't gotten picked, I could have just run through UER.
Right.
And it would have been
That's
like
true.
I would have
That's
had a
true.
much more comfortable early game. So Garrick picking UER was
I didn't
a
think
bit
of
of
it that way.
a
That's true.
negative impact on my game.
It was.
Whereas, he got cut off from going to the Y, the northern Y, but like, I think it still was better off. No, I think Garrick was right to pick UER. I think LFCG
no.
would be the other choice, but I think this was better for him.
But I think those are the 3 companies with UR or SR.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do think
Yeah.
some of the other ones are good, especially like if someone can get control of both of the top 2 right ones, because like then there's no one blocking you, and you can just freely run whatever you want up there. Like SR can't block you.
Yeah.
So like, if you get control of both of them,
Well, maybe there's an argument to that. Like, SR is going to start, and maybe these green offboards don't do anything for you yet, but maybe you just immediately
but if you
token
start with
out.
the other rules, they do.
True. Yeah.
Right?
Like, I don't know. I mean,
and JTY can run like on green can run 272 trains. Actually, more than that, 70, like the 170, 70, and then a 10, so like 150. And that's
Yeah.
if you even like, I don't know. Sit here and analyze it all day.
Yeah, the offboard values are weird. Anyways, I'm
Like
done
1,
looking
2,
at it.
3, 1,
You're
2,
done
3.
looking
Like
at it.
that's a lot more than 150 actually, because they're 3 trains at that point, not 2 trains. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll try the other rules next week.
It's just unfortunate. Do I say that a lot? I just realized what's the tagline. It's just unfortunate. Have I said that a lot or something? Because I feel like I sometimes say words over and over again and not realize I'm saying it.
I honestly didn't notice.
Say words, Pat? How could you say words?
How dare you say words? This is a
Oh.
non-words stream.
Man, I'm sick, guys. Come on.
Yeah, sick in the head.
Okay, wow. Tell Joey. Mom, he's making fun of me.
All right, let me shut down the stream. We're done babbling,
Yeah,
I think. Thanks for playing, guys, as unfortunate as it was. Thanks for watching, everyone. I guess we'll have
God damn it.
the original rules or something next week. See you later.